Good evening, everyone. Myself, Danishwari Mula. I'm working as assistant professor in BLDA's Engineering College, Bijapur. So I hereby welcome you all for this webinar, which will be given by our alumnus, by Mr. Santosh Kotnis, sir. Okay, I'll be handing over it to Dr. Basavaraj Angdi, sir, to give a brief introduction regarding our speaker, Mr. Santosh Kotnis, sir.
Good evening, everyone. I'm very much happy and pleasure to introduce our today's guest speaker, that is Santosh Kotnis. He is alumnus of our institute of 1992 batch of mechanical engineering. Santosh Kotnis is a serial entrepreneur and co-founded technology companies, angel invested in unique business models, built scaled up startups, built a micro VC fund, raised money, working as a board member, CEO and business unit head, and grown the global business in the span of 2 decades. Sir, global business executive with a solid track record of IT and business management experience that involves strategic planning, operations, and financial management for business units and organizations, ranging from innovative startups to international leading organizations. Sir has a strong change agent with focus on organizational transformation for success. Sir managed a strong P&L of $25 million while working as offshore business unit head of leading Norway IT services company Every. As the CEO and managing partner, Santosh Kotnis is spearheading Spring Up Capital into a micro VC fund and scale up accelerator, aimed to raise $10 million in the first round, with an average investment of up to $500K. Strong accelerator program enables global technology startups to scale their business by providing expertise, ecosystem, and capital for growth. In addition to this, Santosh co-founded and playing key roles in following startups: Ledex, a Norway-based company, B2B SaaS platform that enables everyone in the organization to generate hot leads, successfully built tech team of 45 engineers, building global sales team, and raised close to $500K. Cognitive IT, US, Singapore, Norway, and India-based cognitive IT service company, focusing on RPA, AML, and blockchain technologies. Successfully built a global partner network aimed towards customer delight. Anexa Solutions, a cloud-born company focusing on cloud-based digital enablement and cybersecurity solutions. As a CEO, Santosh built sales and marketing and delivery channels. Green Thumb, AML-based agri-tech platform, which transforms how plant diseases are predicted and detected. Built MVP, raised $75K, and building global team. Along with this, Santosh speaks at national and international conferences and writes to magazines on new technology trends and business strategies. Works very closely with academia to build student entrepreneurs and mentoring them. Santosh has a master's from Indian Institute of Technology, Bombay, and MBA from University of Akron, OHUS. He is a keynote speaks subjects: entrepreneurship, leadership, global scale-ups, startups, and strategy. With this, I introduce Sri Santosh Kotnis to the audience, and we are very much happy that he is alumnus of our institute and our mechanical department. Sir, please.
Sir, thank you so much. You are kind enough with your words. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for having me. I always feel privileged whenever I was called. Whenever I'm being called to BLD, I always feel privileged, because it's like going down the memory lane. Number one, and number two, it's the fundamentals of engineering, or fundamentals, I would say, fundamentals of life is something which really taught me. when I was in the campus between 92 and 96. What we will do is the next 40 minutes or so, less than that actually, because I want to take up a few questions. I'm assuming the Wave team is arranging to ask those questions. I'm not really sure how the questions will be asked, but I'm expecting there will be some questions. So is it okay if we switch off the video just to improve the audio quality? All right. So I'm assuming that this screen can be seen by everyone. So what we will talk about today is how this new normal is changing the way in which we are doing the business, or what are the new opportunities. I mean, of course, every problem would bring in a lot of new new opportunities, and so we'll see through that how things are being changed. One thing is for sure, things are being changed. So we will see how things are being changed, and then we will see what are the opportunities are there. So the first one, let me introduce myself. I think Basara sir was kind enough to talk so many things about me. But the fundamental thing is that I am from mechanical engineering in BLD, and then after that I went and then did my MBA. My IIT masters in IIT Bombay, and like most of the IIT guys do, so wrote CAT and then went ahead with doing MBA from University of Akron in the US. And then after that, the first 10 years of my career, I was working for Geometric Software. Geometric Software was actually one of the a prominent name in CAD/CAM. So we did a lot of CAD development and then engineering services, and then designing the jigs and fixtures and then assemblies for automotive, for aerospace, and then other mechanical related softwares. Then after that, I worked for a Norwegian company called Every, and so I spent about 6-8 years there before I started off doing something of my own. So me and my partner, we have started this company which focuses on artificial intelligence, IoT, machine learning, and blockchain. We'll talk through what all we do in the subsequent slides. And of late, I started a VC fund, because to do anything and everything, the startups need money. And then we formed this Spring Up Capital. This is through which we identify new technology startups. I mean, not related to computer only or a technology IT only, but we also can basically fund the good ideas and then give them global scale and then take through the scale up. So that's what we do in Spring Up. So now, I mean, first of all, let's see if this COVID, fundamentally, we never saw this, we never experienced this in our lifetime, and we never anticipated something of this sort will happen. So if we can see, is it impacting in the first place? So the answer is yes, because everything has changed, everything has belly up now. The way in which the classes are being done, the way in which we are socially interacting with others, or socially interacting or meeting with others is changing. And similarly, the way in which we are doing the business is also changing. So first of all, there is a consumer spending impact, in the sense the real estate, the automobile, the goods and fashion spending. I mean, you might be reading that in the newspaper. Most of the companies are shut down, not too much of a manufacturing, and then so on and so forth. The fundamental problem with the current situation is the uncertain future. So we don't know how COVID will shape up, and then what is the future, how many days it is going to do. Personally speaking, I thought this this will last only for 15 days when our Prime Minister said the first lockdown 21 days. So I thought like it will all over in 21 days, and then after 22nd day, I thought we will all get back to home, and then everything will come back to normal. So of course, the thing was not like that. So so this is uncertainty, and there is a social impact to that, and there is a business impact as well. So a lot of companies are shut down. I mean, even for example, IT companies are working all normal because of the nature of the work of IT. Because given a laptop and internet connection, you can practically work from anywhere. But IT's end customers are suffering, so that's the reason why IT will suffer. Manufacturing companies are shut down. The car or a bike or anything is halted. The real estate is halted. The fashion goods, and then buying clothes and everything is shut down. And we are also seeing that some policy changes. I think if you're following very closely, there is a big war between US and China. We are also participating. I mean, India is also participating, saying that we will ban China products. So and then if I can say, it might be appearing that it's between only US and China, but it's fundamentally there are a lot of countries who are looking to change the policies. Like even in the European countries, how they are interacting, how they are working, that is all changing. So COVID-19 has impacted us, and we can't really say that okay, it hasn't impacted, and then everything is normal. It's not. It has impacted. I think let's acknowledge the fact right. But so now when I say impacted, so if it is a small grocery store, the impact happens to that, and then that guy can go out of the business. But now look at this. So financial services, banks, it is $10.96 trillion business worldwide. Okay. And IT services is worldwide is a $100 billion industry. So why I'm saying all these things is there will be investment, there will be people working on go-to-market, there will be hiring, there will be new products, there will be new ideas, there will be different buying pattern will emerge, and there will be quality talent will be attracted. So in the first slide I said like, okay, COVID is impacting our life for sure. But it is not like my next door neighbor grocery shop where not working for 3 months will shut down the shop. It's a large industry. Manufacturing is a large industry. Or a bank and financial services, it's a large industry. Manufacturing is $250 billion global business. So you cannot wipe out the entire industry because of COVID-19. So why I'm saying this is because if you are listening that, or if you are hearing some comments like, okay, so this manufacturing is going to go, or IT is going to go, or financial services is going to go. It's not the case. These are big, large businesses. Of course, there will be an impact. There will be an impact for sure, but that doesn't mean there is absolutely nothing happening. Okay, so if I can focus on the right-hand side of the things there, the hiring will happen. Okay, so industry might not hire 100 people, but they will hire 80 people because they still need it. Because this is again, This is not like a 1 lakh business where like not working for 3 months, so he's going to go out. It's a large set of businesses. It's a huge business, right? So it's in industry size. I'm giving a perspective. All right. So this is all fine, right? So you said like a COVID impacted. Agreed. This is a large business. Okay. So you are giving a perspective. This is a very large business, manufacturing. You don't go. That's all fine. But impact happened. What did this mean? That it is impacted in what kind of a people are getting impacted, right? So now the question here we need to address today is that, okay, you might say, okay, suppose you have 20 years of experience, you have done this, you have done that. Even if you don't work for next 6 months, it will be okay for you. You have some business. But the question is how the new graduates whom I am talking to today will be self-assured about their future jobs, because we need jobs. And then how COVID is going to impact my career. So these are the fundamental questions I'm asking myself. And while I say COVID has impacted, while I say there is a business, a large business, so it is not going to shut down, but fundamentally we need to understand it is impacting at an individual level, right? So I'm not going to answer it right now, but we will try answering these questions in the next slides. The good part is there are some new avenues coming up. So if you hear there was a big financial recession in 2008 and 9, where at least I heard that, okay, so IT is going to get closed, manufacturing is going out of the business. Okay, so even up to an extent, I heard Bajaj Auto is going to close their out of their 3 plants. They are going to close one of them, concentrate everything on Pune. Nothing of that sort happened. I mean, they expanded and then they built a 4th factory. Why I'm saying this is, every time there is a recession, every time there is a problem, every time there is a crunch, so-called crunch, the industries come back with a different business model, with a calibrated or a corrected approach to the market. So now what is happening now? If you look at the opportunities, one thing is happening. India as a market is emerging. Okay, so far we were looking at US as a market, Europe as a market, or China, Japan as a market. So now the commentaries what I have, or the discussions what I have with my European clients or US clients or friends in those countries, they say that, okay, India is a country to be watched. And then this is happening already. Okay, so I'm not getting into the details, so like who is doing that, is government doing something, or industrial bodies are doing something, or it is happening all by himself. But one thing is for sure, India as a market is emerging. So that means there are new opportunities. And the second point, while this pandemic is hitting, there are a couple of things which got very clear. One is that you can't really depend completely 100% on China for the manufacturing. The European companies or the US companies are understanding that there has to be an alternate destination for the manufacturing, and then India is emerging there. And I will not get into the detail, but please understand one thing. Indian government is doing all possible correct things in order to attract these manufacturing companies to India. I'm not politicizing anything here, but I'm talking as a true Indian. I'm talking about this, and then I think I'm feeling proud about it. Second important thing, it also proved that IT can be worked from anywhere. So now what happened is that we all are working from home. It's been a 3rd month. Actually, it's like more than almost 3 months now. So nothing is impacted. Every customer is being served. Every call is being attended. So now what it says is that if it can be done from home, it can be done from India. If it can be done from a, a bank clerk sitting in home, it can be done by a bank clerk sitting in India. So that is what happening. So there will be lot of increased offshoring, both in manufacturing and IT. So now, in addition to that, the Indian startup ecosystem, you will be surprised to know, in last 3 months, from this venture capital fund, we have invested into 4 new startups. I mean, I'm only talking from one small VC firm, what we run as a friends here. We have invested in 4 startups. This is last 3 months. And then if I can talk about a cumulative figure, Indian ecosystem of startups, there are a lot of activities happening, very bright ideas. So this will generate lot of jobs. When I say startup, I am not only talking about IT startups. IT startup is obviously one part of it, but there are startups in healthcare. I mean, let me quote one example which we funded recently. This is a healthcare. There is absolutely no IT in that. But what it does is, rather than pricking my finger for the blood to do some detection of diseases, like typically it happens. Let's say if somebody says it's malaria, the doctor pricks the finger and then removes the blood and then do the malaria test. So what these guys found out is that I need not to use blood for that, but my saliva is good enough to detect, or my urine sample is good enough to detect 108 different diseases, including malaria. So what it means is that there is no more blood coming out or blood sample being collected. There is absolutely no IT in this. There is another IoT example. There is another smart manufacturing example, what we call as Industrial 4.0. There are brilliant ideas coming up. So this manufacturing 4.0 is currently being taken to Norway and Germany. This is Pune grown company. A set of college graduates started this manufacturing. It's a completely mechanical related thing. So increased startup activities would give a lot of jobs will be created. And then now, consumer spending, change in consumer behavior. When I say consumer, it's me and you, who will buy things. Okay, so now, so there are a lot of shift happening there. Like say you might be reading in the paper, don't buy China products and don't only buy India product. Our federal government started Atmanirbhar Bharat or whatever you want to call. Everybody is, the consumer behavior is spending or the consumer spending is changed. So now the summary of this whole slide is all these activities are going to create jobs in India, which was not the case post-COVID. So post-COVID, India as a market, nobody really bothered. Of course, people used to talk about, okay, India is a big country, 1.2 billion people, large country, this and that. But nobody really looked at India as a market. Now, people are looking at India as a market. Offshoring has been there since last 30 years, but now people are looking for an alternate destination for China, alternate destination for US, alternate destination from the Europe. So if it can be done from home, it can be done from India. So that's the new mantra. Increased startup activities. The startup activities have been there, but now with this difficult time, there are a lot of new startups coming up. So why I'm saying is this, is while COVID has impacted us, it also created some new avenues, new opportunities from the job creation perspective. I'll stop here and then see if there are any questions. No, there are no questions so far. So that means I can can go ahead. All right. So now, is this is the same thing what it was post-COVID and before COVID and post-COVID? There are certain ways which are being spoken about. So these changes are there for a while. I would spend a little more time on this because this is establishing what is coming as a new way. So now what we are seeing is that social distancing or manufacturing jobs and with this context. So we are now talking about industrial 4.0. This is again, it's not a new concept. It's been there, but this is being now stressed upon. What is industrial 4.0? Is an automation, complete factory automation. Again, you might ask a question, if automation is happening, where are the jobs? But my question is, there has to be someone who will do this automation. So automation is not like, okay, it will automatically come and then sit in my shop floor and then start running the machine by itself. There has to be a team who are doing this, who are implementing this automation. So industrial 4.0 will now gain a momentum because this will be design anywhere, develop anywhere concept. So I can sit in Pune, design the components, and then someone in the interior part of Karnataka, say in Bijapur, they can work on getting this done on a lathe machine and then ship that part to Pune. Or it can happen globally. For example, Bharat Forge is trying to implement this. So Bharat Forge, what happens is that in the headquarters in Pune, they could able to see, they have an operation in about 12 different countries. So sitting in their control room in Pune, they can see what exactly is happening in all those 12 countries, in all their plants. So that's a terrific control. So this will increase. This will certainly increase. And similarly, this AR, VR, augmented reality or virtual reality. So lot of digital manufacturing is happening around this. So you could see a lot of workers wearing AR goggles and then seeing. So what is happening? The maintenance. So now there is a company in Pune who have developed AR, I mean virtual reality tool, a virtual reality startup. What it does is, let me assume you are standing in front of a lathe, and then by looking at a part, say you look at a part of a spindle. So by looking at that through that VR lens, you will understand what are the maintenance problems of that spindle, and then it will also tell you the remedy. So while wearing your VR glass, you could able to see, only looking at the spindle, you will be able to see that when it was last maintenance was done to this spindle, and how to do the maintenance of this. So the maintenance guy of the future will come wearing the VR glass. For example, there's a big boiler, okay, and just imagine looking at, I'm wearing a VR glass and then looking at that boiler. It will tell me what is the pressure inside, and is it safe or not, or what kind of a maintenance is required for that boiler. Similarly, automobile. But imagine you are wearing a VR glass and then looking at your bike and then say that, okay, next month is a maintenance, or there is some problem in the gearbox. So this is a new trend. Okay. Similarly, digital transformation. So digital transformation is impacting everybody's life. So a simple classic example I will give. You might have ordered Swiggy, or you might have traveled by Ola, Uber. So that is a simple digital transformation. It is bringing the digital to what we do. Whether it is a shop floor, whether it is me as a person, whether I order the food, or whether I buy something on Amazon. Amazon is nothing but a digital. So they have digitized the buying process. So this is now going to come in a big way on the shop floor or otherwise all other businesses, digital transformation is going to come. Similarly, automation. So whether we like it or not, automation both in software and in hardware is going to get pick up. The reason is, so now, of course, I'm not saying that the working community or the engineers and then those will not go away. I mean, they are going to stay. They will stay. But automation will be there. All the repetition tasks, even in the software. Say if I'm opening, I'm picking up one information from Excel sheet and then updating a website repeatedly 700 times a day. That all is being now automated. So automation is going to come. And artificial intelligence. So artificial intelligence is nothing new in this, because even when I was learning in '96, my roommate, he was a computer science passed out in '96 as well. So he had a subject itself by artificial intelligence. But now what has happened in between '96 and now is a big transformation about how artificial intelligence is evolved. There is a machine learning. So now you might be asking how this artificial intelligence will get impacted to our day-to-day life, say in the shop floor. So artificial intelligence model can tell me how many bikes Bajaj Auto has to manufacture in the month of August. Now, I'm sitting in the month of June. Okay, so this is all transformation happening on the field as we speak, because Bajaj Auto wants to know what if I create, say, 30,000 bikes in this month, and they are all unsold. Then this is supply and demand gap. So how artificial intelligence can help here? It can tell Bajaj Auto that how many bikes might get sold in the month of August. So instead of 30,000, if the prediction comes as a 32,000 or 35,000 or 25,000, Bajaj Auto can increase or decrease their manufacturing in this month of June or early part of July, so that they can supply those many bikes without over producing or less producing. Similarly, we have a beautiful case study in agriculture area. So this is one startup actually I have co-founded. So some of you who are from agriculture background, you will come to know. Say, looking at the plants, looking at the leaves of the plants, there is an artificial intelligence algorithm which can tell what kind of a disease is happening for this plant, even before it is happening. I mean, there are some changes happening in the leaves, in the color of the leaf, or the kind of dots, black dots. So it can make a detection that, okay, in next 2 weeks time, this plant is going to get disease of this sort. This is artificial intelligence. This was known to my grandfather. I mean, not only my grandfather, but whoever earlier generation elderly people knew this. By looking at the leaves, they could be able to tell us that, okay, this is what is going to happen in next 15 days. So now that is being implemented in artificial intelligence. It's a very beautiful concept. Similarly, like these wind turbines, you see a lot of big wind turbines. So there is an artificial intelligence algorithm which tells me that what amount of electricity being generated by this wind farm. So how do you know? There is an algorithm which detects the weather pattern, the direction of the wind, and so on and so forth. Similarly, there is a combination of Industrial 4.0, artificial intelligence, automation. The combination of these three things are being implemented on the shop floor, which will tell me whether this lathe machine is going to go out of the service. what is the probability of this lathe going out of the service? How they do that? They detect the vibration coming from that machine. They analyze that using the artificial intelligence and the data available, and they do an automation saying that, okay, so this lathe is going to go out, so now let us stop this lathe into operation. So that lathe is being taken out of the production. Okay, so now there are two things I'm talking about. One is there is a change happening in how the manufacturing industry is behaving or evolving. And the second thing is a change how the IT is evolving. So now IT is no more a simple mobile development or a website development or of that sort. Of course, you need mobile or you need web, but people are implementing blockchain. People are implementing AI. People are writing ML algorithms to do all these things. So there is a big transformation happening in the background, right? So now we'll pick up these questions, some questions here, because I assume these are related to this slide. So one question is from Tushar. It says that what are the opportunities in AI for new pass outs? So there is a tremendous amount of opportunities for AI. The reason is the data, the availability of data has tremendously increased. So now everybody is building the AI algorithms or ML algorithms. What has happened in last 3-4 years in India or otherwise, the penetration of mobile phones have increased the amount of data being collected or the data being consumed. Like say today, I don't read paper. I watch CNBC live on the video. So that's how I'm consuming the data. And then Google knows where I'm going because I'm using Android phone. And then knowingly, unknowingly, I'm leaving a lot of data on the social media about me, about my likings, and then what I do, who is there in my family, and then what are my buying patterns and all those stuff. So in last 4 to 5 years, the availability of data has increased tremendously. A classic example is I'm sure you might have read about Jio pocketing about 1 lakh crores of selling about their 12-13% total stake, maybe 20% stake. It's all because of the data. Jio has built a tremendous amount of data, and then that's how they are in cash. So to answer your question, Tushar, if you are from a computer science background, there are multiple opportunities in AI. Only thing is just focus on what sort of AI you want to build in, and then tap into to correct opportunities. So I mean, this is the answer to Tushar, but what I can say is that AI and ML are truly expanding, truly exponential. So that is a great opportunity. So moving on to next question from Swati. What type of industries, workforce has been affected by COVID-19? Practically everyone. I might say that I'm working from home, being in IT, but I am impacted as well because my customer is impacted. So every workforce is impacted. I mean, I was about to answer this question because I asked this question in the beginning by myself. So everybody is impacted. But again, please note that doesn't mean that they all are going to get shut down. So world will come to standstill. I'm not saying that. While everybody is impacted, every country is impacted, every business is impacted, but there are a lot of hope. That's what I spoke in slide number 2 and 3, right? So now we'll move to a question from Pratik. How should the new graduates be self-assured about their future jobs, and what are the job options for new graduates? So I have a different slide to talk about this, Pratik. But while it is impacting a little bit, I still believe there would be jobs. So if you could wait for maybe 2-3 minutes more, we will reach out to that slide. And then Pratik, if you feel that your question was not answered after towards end of the end of these slides, again repost this question. So next question is from Tanmay. How to fill the gap between what we know and what we should know in industrial sector? This is a very good question, Tanmay. This has been a problem since I think I would say when I was there was a problem, and still there is a gap. But now, good point is right now, like say why I am talking to you, right? Is because somewhere institute thought that okay, this guy knows the industry a little bit, uh, and then he should talk to our students. So institutes and the universities are trying to improve the industry and student interaction. So this is where I think it will help. Number two, I would also suggest and encourage, I mean, irrespective of the stream you belong to, in your own respective fields, there are a lot of magazines, lot of videos about new trends. For example, if you're from mechanical, you can just type in industry 4.0, you will get like 1 ton material, or AR, VR in manufacturing and those kind of things. So one way of doing that is to go through self-study, in the sense that don't expect that institute will teach you all the things what is happening in the industry. So there is a lot of data available, tons and tons of data available. If you spend like next 6 months, 1 hour a day, 1 hour per day, I think there will be a big transformation. So whatever area you belong to, Tanmay, whether it is civil or manufacturing or computer science, there are a lot of things happening. And nowadays, because of LinkedIn and Twitter and then all those stuff, all these professors like IIT professors have their own LinkedIn profiles. Even people, I mean, for example, I work with one professor based out in Oklahoma State University. I have absolutely never met him actually, but we kind of discuss certain things. And then there is one professor in Geneva Business School. Again, we never met, but he's sharing a lot of things. So reach out to people, whoever, just Google it, and then you will get a lot of information. So I would strongly recommend, Tanmay, the self-study and going through all by yourself, doing experiment, discussing with people, discussing with friends. That is the best way. Because other than that, I will come and then talk about, like, say, an hour or so, but I will not be touching on all the points what I am supposed to. So the best way is to go by yourself. So if it doesn't answer question, Tanmay, you may want to repost. Sachin asks about, what about automobile industry's economy? Does it raise or fall? It will be a standstill for a while because people will not buy new automobiles. But Ratan Tata said pretty recently, last week or this week, I believe, he said that 2020 is a survival year, 2021 is a growth year. What it means is that just survive. I'm not talking about life here. I'm talking about industry and the business. So he tells to the businesses and the industries that just survive. Don't shut down in 2020. Just make sure you survive in 2020. 2021 is a growth. 2021 would be a tremendous amount of a growth. Don't lose focus. Okay, this is a short-term thing. So this is going to go only until 2020. So we will bounce back again. So next question is from Vineet. How can we prepare for recession? Do you recommend to go for some courses or certifications to strengthen profile? I am more interested in cybersecurity. Good point, Vineet. There is a slide after 2 slides. So let's go to that slide first. And then if you think it's not answered, then you can repost the question. Now the last one is, okay. So this is a phone name actually. So I don't know the name of the student, but what skills are expected by freshers? So good point about being fresher is that the industry doesn't expect any skills from you. In the sense, whatever skill you have, we have to retrain or we have to train, right? But there are some fundamental things we will see what we need to do. There is a slide again on this. So now these are these are a few questions. So if you have more questions, you can type. But we'll go ahead in the interest of the time. So now all along I'm saying, okay, there are jobs, there is India is shining, and then manufacturing is coming to India, offshoring is happening. So what am I saying? So no need to worry, all is okay. So then why there is so much of a cry, right? So you might ask this question. So you are sounding so positive, everything is coming, everybody will get a job. So that's what you are saying? The answer is no. This is a new normal. COVID has brought a new normal. There will be less opportunities. There will be more competition. And you might be saying like, okay, what kind of a guy is this? So he says that, okay, there are opportunities, and then he says like there are less opportunities and there are more competition. And I took about 2008 and 9 recession. There is a recession happened. In those times when people were graduating out, everybody said, what will happen to us? What will happen to our jobs? After 2008 and 9, everybody got a job. Everybody is doing fantastic in their life today. Why I'm saying this is a temporary thing. Everybody exactly felt the same thing. I mean, I know I'm being associated with IIT, my alumni mater for a while. IIT graduates were thinking, what will happen to us? What will happen to our job? Because this 2008 and 9 recession is a very big recession. And then after 6 months, everybody got placed somewhere else or the other place. And then now everybody is doing fantastic. Everybody forgot about what happened in 2008 and 9. Why I'm saying this is a less opportunity time, more competition time. There are new business models coming in. There are a digital way of doing the things, right? And this is not normal, but there are still opportunities. Is it confusing enough? If it is confusing enough, I would request you not to get confused. What all I'm saying is, this is not end of the road. There are less opportunities. There are new business models. There is a competition, more competition. But that doesn't mean that it is the end of the road. Right? I want to register this point here, because otherwise you will get confused. So you will say that, okay, what Santosh spoke about, the first half he spoke about there is a problem. In the second half he spoke about there is no problem. So by the end of the day, okay, we are sheerly confused. This is how it will happen. I mean, unless and until if I register this slide very, very firmly. So what all I'm saying is, this is a new normal. There will be new opportunities, but there will be less opportunities. What it means is that there will be a competition. And don't worry about what will happen to our future. This is how everybody thought when it was in 2008 and 2009. Okay, so actually historians say that it is 1939 there was a big recession in US. US bounced back, world bounced back, and everything is normal. And everything will be normal. Okay, so the assurance from my side is there are opportunities. There are new jobs coming in. There is competition, but there are still opportunities. I will never lose hope. And now, what we are supposed to do. So this is a slide I kept talking about. So what we are supposed to do is that in normal, I would just finish my engineering. I will either go to Bangalore or to Pune or to some other location, and then I will get placed, or some campus company will come and then pick me up. That might still happen, but we need to prepare for that, assuming nothing of that sort will happen. So what I need to do is, I need to make industry connections. I will give a classic example of making new connection is LinkedIn. For example, floor manager in Bajaj Auto. You just search, go to LinkedIn, create your profile, search shop floor manager Bajaj Auto, shop floor manager Tata Motors, or software engineer in IT. You will get 1,000 profiles. Connect with them saying that, sir, I'm a student, final year student. I would like to connect with you. Okay. Out of 100 requests you send, 50% of the people will accept it. You start interacting with them. Same thing on Twitter. Use, if you are comfortable with Facebook, do that there as well. What I'm trying to say is that make industry connections. Please note, nobody will call you and then give you the job. You now, the 2020 pass out, I think 2 days back, Sundar Pichai spoke about passing out 2020 to Stanford University guys. So he says the same thing. Nobody will call you and then give you the job. You have to go and then get the job now. So what has to be done? If you are a software engineer, you go to your alumna matter. There are a lot of people from BLD who are staying in Bangalore. There are a lot of people from BLD staying in Pune and doing mechanical engineering. They all have a LinkedIn profile or a Facebook profile. Go and search. You just go to LinkedIn. It's a beautiful tool. Just go to LinkedIn and say like studied in BLD. You will get 1,000 profiles. Connect with all of them saying that I am from BLD. So do you. Nice to connect. And then keep asking questions. What will happen? Will he give a job? Perhaps yes. When you ask for a job, he will perhaps give you a job. If he doesn't have a job, he will recommend to someone else because people like connections. Right? So make those connections. It is extremely important. Don't miss this. Don't miss this because now the number of companies coming to the campus will slightly get reduced. You have to compete more. So create LinkedIn profile, create your social profile, write blogs, write about yourself, do something extra. Say you write one blog, you start writing a blog about manufacturing 4.0 and then keep publishing that. Write up an article about in your blog 4.0 and then send it to all the people who are in this field. Okay, the acceptance will be less, agreed. But even if there are 20 people who will accept, they will read your blog, they will read your ideas, you will make connections, right? And visibility, that's precisely what I'm talking about. Rather than just spending and watching video, YouTube videos, can you make your own video? And then attach that with your LinkedIn, attach that with your Facebook, attach that with your Twitter. You have to be extremely, extremely visible on the social media. Rather than just commenting on somebody's policies or some fake news, forget it. For next 6-8 months, just focus on your career. And you will get a job. And then do something like, okay, you're writing a blog, creating a video, say you read something on Industry 4.0, you make a video of 2 minutes and then make your own video, YouTube video channel. What I'm talking about is one extra step. Need to do something different. This year, we need to do something different. Make connections, write to people, write about yourself, make visible, go out and then talk. Write to the professors in IITs. They might not reply. There's one gentleman who will reply. Okay, so make use of that. So I'm just repeating, make industry connections, have a fantastic social profile, get out of your Facebook. Facebook doesn't give you anything. Focus on LinkedIn, focus on Twitter, focus on writing blogs, be available on LinkedIn. There are a lot of people who are posting for jobs. And then follow them. Follow the HR guys. Follow the recruitment heads. Follow their director. Follow the CEOs. The advantage what you have is the student. If you write student, nobody will say no. They will give something to you. So make use of that. Don't waste. I mean, I'm repeatedly telling you, this is okay. Let me put it in this way. It's my humble request, have a social profile this year it becomes extremely handy. Do something different. Okay, you just conduct something, you build something out of your own curiosity, whether it is there in the curriculum or not. Okay, you build like, okay, there is build an IoT device which will detect the vibration of a lathe machine from the workshop, and then it transmits wirelessly to all the way to, say, computer lab, and write a paper about it, write a blog about it. We need to do that. We need to sell ourselves. Okay, one extra step at a time, right? So precisely what all I had. I think I have 2 more questions. I will answer them. But the earlier I said, like, there are a couple of questions earlier, so which were asked, like what we should do. So don't do anything. Don't learn Python. Don't learn C++, or don't learn Indian Steel 4.0, or don't learn AutoCAD. But be visible. Be visible on the social media. Make connections. That is what I would recommend, rather than telling you that, okay, go and do AutoCAD. Okay, you will do AutoCAD anyway. So if you have spent 4 years in say computer science engineering or a mechanical engineering, I will assume that you know a little bit of a coding. I know you know what is fundamentals of machining. You know, I'm assuming that, because that's what 4 years of engineering teaches you. What 4 years of engineering doesn't teach me is that how to be social on the social media, except Facebook. Facebook is okay. This is a personal thing. You be there, but the business related social media is Twitter and LinkedIn and blogs and videos. Okay, that is what my message would be. So what you learn really doesn't matter. Like what I mean by that is, like what you learn in engineering doesn't matter. That's not what I mean. What I mean is, like, say, if you have studied Python, studying C++ is okay. But what is essential thing is improving the social presence and then making those connections. You have to build your ecosystem of your seniors, if you're other software guys, or other shop floor guys, or other design engineers, whatever your field of interest is, right? So we'll pick up a couple of questions. One is from Vijay. Is this the right time to start something of my own? Do you recommend starting up with an idea in this crisis? Yes, absolutely. There is no right or wrong timing for starting something. If you have an idea, go ahead with that. There is absolutely no right or wrong time. I would always recommend to go ahead with this anytime. So next question is Pratil. I'm trying to connect on LinkedIn. But I receive very less response to my message. How can I build effective connects on LinkedIn? So it all depends upon so how you write your LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn profile, it has to reflect your personality. So if you write only one sentence, for example, a student in BLD, so nobody will get interest. So write about it. Write about, okay, what electives you have chosen, what projects you have done, what extracurricular activities you have taken. So write, my interest area is Industry 4.0 or machine learning or AR, VR. And then you have to build it. You have to build your LinkedIn profile and make it attractive so that people get attracted to that. And then start connecting to people or start following people. Following, you can follow anyone. So start following people in your in your industry, or what I should say, in the area of interest wherever you are, right? So make it attractive. If you write only one line sentence, so people won't really take it up. So you make it. I mean, there are a lot of articles written. There are a lot of YouTubes which will teach you how to write an effective LinkedIn profile. That's the beauty of it. LinkedIn itself has this article, how to write an effective LinkedIn profile. So read it and then connect with the right message. Just don't connect. Hi, no. You have to write, okay, I am, say, so and so. I am Santosh Kotnis, final year engineering, computer science from BLD. My interest is this. I'm trying to pursue this. I am connecting with you because I need this from you. Say, for example, if somebody writes to me, I will say that I'm connecting with you because you are from BLD, or I want you to fund me, or I want you to mentor me, I want to do something to you, or whatever. Write a very, very strong message that why this person has to connect. That will help. I think we're 4 minutes over the schedule, but any other questions? Because I'm done with my talking, or any confusion, any counter arguments.
As per my knowledge goes, I hope so you answered all the questions, sir.
Ma'am, I did, but if there are any further questions.
I'm not finding anything on the question answer panel, sir, over here.
Yeah.
Okay, I hope so all the participants have truly got the full benefit from your respective talks, sir.
All right, so I assume you got it. So you can follow me on LinkedIn. Follow my company Spring Up. That is there here in the bottom right hand. It's here. I'm raising the mouse here, this area. So you can follow that on LinkedIn. First, go back and create a LinkedIn profile. Start following people. If there are any questions, okay. Oh, there's one more question. Okay, so.
Yeah.
Bhavik writes, in this pandemic situation, many people are losing their jobs. Then what about India as a market? Okay, so there are this losing job is happening across the world. That's a phenomena happening across the world. So India as a market, as I said in one of the slides in the beginning, it's going to grow up. Certainly, it is. It's going to grow up. In India is to be seen now. $1 trillion economy, or 1.2 billion people. At least the information what I'm getting from my friends from the outside, they are looking at India as a next big destination. So at least I am very, very positive about India, how India will happen. As I said, if I can follow Mr. Ratan Tata, 2020 is a survival year. Let's survive. And 2021 is the boost year. So let's not lose hope. It's everything will be all right. So we need to do a little bit of extra work, which we discussed. So if you can focus on that, it would India would emerge as a market, and then there will be jobs. Right now, it appears that people are losing jobs. Yes, they are losing jobs because it is not a simple thing. I mean, bringing the complete world for 3 months standstill is not a simple thing. Entire activity, please note, entire activity in the world has stopped, except groceries. Right? So this is not a simple thing. It is impacting. For sure, it is impacting. But is it going to go forever? No. We are going to bounce back. That's what I wanted to say.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thanks a lot, sir, for your valuable time. And as you said, that this year happens to be for the survival, and the next year we can see the growth over here, growth over our respective career also, and towards the nation also. Thank you, sir. Thanks for your valuable time and your valuable speak there.
Ma'am, thank you so much for having me. I really enjoy talking to BLD student at any time, because that's my proud alma mater.
Yes.
So yeah. So
it's our privilege to have you, sir. It's our privilege to have you. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. It's my privilege to be there. Actually, it feels
yes,
really, really proud. Thank you so much for having me there.
Okay, sir. So we shall end the session, sir, as
yes,
there are no more questions over here. Okay.
Sure.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.